Are you tired of wasting your time on that overrated dumpster fire they call sword art online? Well, listen up, because I'm here to set you straight. Ditch SAO and level up to something way more epic. Jurassic Park. Say goodbye to bad writing and boring characters and hello to real heart-pounding dinosaur action.
Paleontologist Alan Grant, paleobotanist Ellie Sattler, and mathematician Ian Malcolm are chosen to tour an island theme park populated by dinosaurs created from prehistoric DNA. While the park's mastermind, billionaire John Hammond, assures everyone that the facility is safe, they find out otherwise when various ferocious predators break free and go on a hunt. In this video, I'll break down the Jurassic Park movie. The movie begins on Isla Nublar, a small island off the coast of Costa Rica. A large group of construction workers and animal handlers offload a container with a dinosaur inside. The dinosaur tries to escape and kills one of the workers. An easy way to avoid this is to keep the dinosaur sedated during transport. That's what they did in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Furthermore, the characters should be ready to kill the dinosaur if it breaks loose. The tasers aren't going to do much and will only aggravate the dinosaurs. They can always just clone more dinosaurs, so killing one of them shouldn't be a big issue. Moreover, the scientists at Jurassic Park should have only cloned dinosaurs that were peaceful herbivores. This would ensure that they don't hunt and eat any humans. There's still a bunch of awesome herbivore dinosaurs, so people would be interested in coming to visit Jurassic Park to see them. And if they clone dinosaurs, then they can also use that technology to make human organs and save endangered species. Why are they only focusing on cloning dinosaurs? We're then introduced to Dr. Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler. Their sponsor John Hammond arrives and invites them to endorse Jurassic Park and make sure it's safe. Alan and Ellie should decline the invitation. The best way to beat the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park is to not go there in the first place. And why did John wait until now to get a dinosaur expert's opinion? This should have happened when the park was first built. They would have to redesign the whole layout of the park or shut it down completely if it's not safe. Alan, Ellie, and John fly to the island. They're accompanied by two other characters, chaos theorist Dr. Ian Malcolm and lawyer Donald Gennaro. The characters are able to witness many living dinosaurs on the island. It's explained that the company InGen has cloned the dinosaurs from DNA inside mosquitoes that fed on the dinosaur blood. The mosquitoes were preserved for millions of years inside fossilized amber. Then the scientists used frog DNA to fill in the gaps and complete the code. The problem here is that DNA only has a half-life of 521 years. This means that every 521 years, the nucleotide bonds are cut in half. It would only be possible to recover useful DNA from the last 6.8 million years. So they wouldn't be able to clone dinosaurs since they lived over 66 million years ago. There's no unauthorized breeding in Jurassic Park since the scientists made all the dinosaurs female. We later find out this isn't the case. Some West African frogs can change their gender, so the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park can also do that and breed with one another. The scientists at Jurassic Park should have known about this, and they shouldn't have used West African frog DNA to fill in the gaps for the dinosaurs. The adult dinosaurs are kept in special containment facilities surrounded by electrical fences and dense foliage. They should also build some huge barriers around the containment facilities in case the power goes out and the electric fences fail. The characters go on a tour to experience all of the theme park's attractions. They're joined by John's two grandchildren, Lex and Tim. The T-Rex paddock is the second stop of the tour. They should save the best for last to give the tourists something to look forward to. The fences only contain 10,000 volts of electricity. That isn't a lot. A typical police taser has 50,000 volts, so 10,000 volts isn't going to do much to stop a T-Rex. The voltage should definitely be increased. The tour vehicles don't even have any locking mechanisms, so the characters can get out whenever they feel like it. This is not a good choice. There are killer dinosaurs all over the island, so the characters shouldn't wander into danger. They should stay inside the vehicles where it's safe. A storm is coming, so the tour has to be cut short since most of the park staff leave by ship for the mainland. One of the employees, Dennis Nedry, has been been hired by a rival company to steal some dinosaur embryos from InGen. He shuts down the security systems throughout the park so he can enter the cold storage room with the embryos. This also causes the tour cars to break down and electric fences to stop working. Why is there no contingency plan in case the power goes out? The characters are on a tropical island, so hurricanes and other storms would be a regular occurrence. The employees at Jurassic Park should be better prepared for this kind of scenario. They should at least have a backup generator. John also could have done a background check to make sure that the employees are trustworthy and don't have any financial problems. A T-Rex escapes the enclosure and wrecks the tour vehicles. Alan mentions how the T-Rex attacks based on movement, so staying still will keep you safe. This isn't true at all. Scientists believe that T-Rex had great vision, so staying still isn't going to stop the T-Rex from attacking you. Lex shines a flashlight in the T-Rex face. This is not a smart choice. She should turn the flashlight off or point it downward. Ian uses a flare to lure the T-Rex away, and Alan escapes with the kids. Ian shouldn't have tried lighting another flare. It seemed like Alan was already able to distract the T-Rex. There's a huge cliff surrounding the paddock, so I'm not sure how the T-Rex was able to stand near the fence. Ian gets critically injured, and Donald is eaten by the T-Rex. Donald should have ran further away when he had the chance. A small wooden outhouse isn't going to protect you during a T-Rex attack. Cutting the car's pipes and covering themselves in gasoline to mask their scent might also work. That's what Owen did in Jurassic World. In the meantime, Dennis tries to escape and get off the island, but he crashes his car and encounters a Dilophosaurus, which kills him. Dennis should have kept the Jeep's door closed, and he should have immediately ran away when he encountered the Dilophosaurus. Dennis should know how dangerous they are. The Dilophosaurus can spit poisonous venom at their prey. Why would they include these at Jurassic Park? The fences won't be able to stop the venom from hitting the tourists. I doubt the tourists are able to keep their windows closed at all times. Ellie and Park Warden Robert Muldoon come in a Jeep to help the injured Ian. They should bring some guns with them in case they have to fight the T-Rex. The T-Rex returns to chase the Jeep, but the characters are able to escape. This shouldn't have been so difficult because T-Rex can't run very fast, only about 12 miles per hour, so the characters won't even need the Jeep to escape. In Jurassic World, we saw how Claire was able to outrun the T-Rex in high heels. Furthermore, the Jurassic Park employees should have injected trackers into the dinosaurs so they could monitor their location. In the meantime, Alan rescues Tim from a tree while the car falls towards them. They can just move out of the way and let the car fall past them. Afterwards, Alan and the kids take shelter in another tree. They should have just stayed where they were. Ellie and Robert would have found them. Anyways, dinosaurs can't climb trees, so they should be safe there. Alan stays awake all night to keep a lookout for any dinosaurs. John decides to eat all the ice cream since it's melting. Is that really necessary though? John is a billionaire, so he shouldn't care about a few dollars worth of ice cream. The next morning, Alan and the kids encounter a Brachiosaurus. It has a long neck so it can reach the characters, but they're peaceful herbivores, so there's nothing to be afraid of. This is exactly why all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park should have been herbivores. Chief Engineer Ray Arnold reboots the park system. However, the shutdown has deactivated the remaining fences, and the velociraptors are freed. Alan and the kids try to climb an electric fence. Ellie turns the perimeter power back on for the fences while Tim is still holding on and he gets electrocuted. Tim should have just jumped. He wasn't even that high up, so he wouldn't have been injured too much. Moreover, Tim shouldn't have been electrocuted at all. The electrical fences will shock the dinosaurs because they're touching the fence and ground at the same time. Tim wasn't touching the ground or anything in contact with the ground. It's the same reason why birds can sit on power lines, and the kids could have probably crawled through the spaces between the wires. They didn't need to climb the fence. Robert and Ray are killed by some velociraptors. Robert is a skilled hunter though, so he should have known about the velociraptors' flanking techniques. Instead of going outside, Robert and Ray should have stayed inside the emergency bunker where it's safe. It's way too dangerous to go outside on an island full of killer dinosaurs. They can simply wait for all the dinosaurs to die because of the lysine contingency mentioned earlier. The dinosaurs have to depend on splicing supplements from the park staff or else they'll go into a coma and die. Alan resuscitates Tim and the characters make it back to the main resort. Alan leaves to go look for other survivors while the kids wait in the main dining area. The kids should find a better hiding place instead of sitting out in the open. Lex and Tim discover an entire buffet of desserts, but most of the park staff evacuated the island the night before, so who prepared the dessert? Two velociraptors come to attack Lex and Tim, so they hide in the kitchen. The velociraptors also come into the kitchen after opening the door. This could have been avoided if Lex and Tim barricaded the door. Velociraptors wouldn't actually be able to open doors. They were only the size of large chickens, so they wouldn't even be tall enough to reach the door handle, and their wrists aren't very flexible. Lex and Tim should find some weapons in case they have to fight back. There's probably a bunch of knives in the kitchen. Lex and Tim manage to trap one of the velociraptors in the freezer, but the other velociraptor chases them out of the kitchen. The kids meet up with Alan and Ellie. They go to the control room and Lex attempts to restore the park's power. The other velociraptor is trying to break into the room, and the lock doesn't work. Alan and Ellie can't reach the shotgun either since they're holding the door back. However, Tim is just standing there and watching Lex hack into the system. He could easily move the shotgun over to Alan. After the power is back on, John is able to call for help from the mainland. The velociraptor breaks into the room through the glass. Alan's shotgun gets jammed after firing a few shots, so he throws it away, but he should have kept it. Even if it can't fire any bullets, Alan can still use the shotgun as a baseball bat and bash the velociraptor's head in. The other velociraptors come to attack the group, but the T-Rex suddenly appears and kills the velociraptors. The characters should have heard the T-Rex coming from a mile away since it has very loud footsteps. Finally, the movie ends with the characters escaping and evacuating the island via helicopter. Alan and John both agree that the park isn't safe. What did you think of Jurassic Park? I personally thought it was pretty good. The action was awesome and the acting was great. Jurassic Park is definitely a classic. Which movie should I do next? Leave a suggestion. Be sure to also check out some of the other videos on this channel.
As you can see, Jurassic Park is way better than SAO could ever be. If you're looking for another great movie, I highly recommend checking out Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Here's my review of it.
Hey, fellow adventurers. Today, I want to talk to you about a film that will transport you to a world of fantasy and excitement. That's right, I'm talking about Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. And don't worry, you don't need to be a D&D expert to enjoy this film. It's perfect for both newcomers and veterans of the source material. So grab your popcorn, your dice if you're into that sort of thing, and come see why Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is the must-see fantasy film of the year. Who knows, maybe you'll be inspired to start your own epic quest afterwards. First things first, let's talk about the plot. There's treasure, there's betrayal, there's magic, and there's action. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean meets Lord of the Rings, but with less pirates and more dragons. And the best part? You don't need to roll any dice to follow the story. It's easy to understand, even if you've never played D&D before. The film had me hooked from the very beginning. It never felt slow or boring, even during the quieter moments. There was always something happening, whether it was a battle with a dragon or a hilarious mishap involving a magical item. The pacing is like a roller coaster. You'll be hurtling through plot twists and turns faster than a rogue can pick a lock. And just when you think you've caught your breath, the film takes off again, leaving you clinging to your seat and wondering if you accidentally drank a potion of speed. And let's not forget about the characters' personal stories. Each one is as engaging as the last, with their own unique motivations and quirks. You'll be invested in their journeys almost as much as you are in the overall plot. It's like watching a sitcom where each character has their own hilarious storyline that somehow ties into the main plot. You'll be on the edge of your seat the whole time, wondering what kind of craziness is going to happen next. And the way that everything came together in the end was very satisfying. I don't know what kind of spell the filmmakers cast, but this film is absolutely hilarious. The comedy in this film is so on point. It's like a rogue sneak attack. It comes out of nowhere and hits you right in the funny bone. You'll be laughing so hard you'll forget you're watching a fantasy film and start wondering if you stumbled into a comedy club by mistake. The characters are like a band of misfit comedians, each one funnier than the last. It's like a team-up of the Avengers, but with less brooding and more belly laughs. You'll be rooting for them not just because they're epic heroes, but because they're also a bunch bunch of goofballs you'd love to hang out with. But what really sets the comedy in Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves apart from other films is how well it's integrated into the story. It's not just a bunch of cheap one-liners thrown in for the sake of a laugh. No, the humor is woven into the fabric of the film like a magical tapestry, adding depth and nuance to the characters and the plot. The timing is like a well-cast spell. The jokes hit harder than a barbarian with a great axe, and they're as plentiful as a dragon's horde. You'll be laughing so hard you might need a cleric to cast a spell of restoration on you. The film expertly balances the humor with the serious moments. It's similar to a Marvel Cinematic Universe film, but better. The jokes never feel forced, and they don't detract from the emotional impact of the story. If you want a fantasy film that's as funny as a Bard's Loot solo, then Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is the film for you. It's like watching a bunch of friends play a hilarious game of Dungeons and Dragons, but with better special effects and a higher budget. Additionally, the world building is as expansive as a dragon's lair. The film takes place in a fantastical setting that's as rich in detail as a wizard's spellbook. It's like seeing a fully realized world come to life before your very eyes, and it's more immersive than a potion of invisibility. The creature design is spectacular too. From dragons to mimics, the film has it all. Every creature is brought to life with special and practical effects that are as impressive as a magical illusion. The film takes the classic trope of a group of misfits coming together to save the world and puts its own unique spin on them. It's a bunch of classic fantasy stories combined into one epic adventure. The magic was truly a sight to behold. From fireballs to teleportation spells, each spell is as awe-inspiring as a cleric's divine intervention, and they're brought to life with special effects that are as dazzling as a magical enchantment. The fantastical elements never feel forced, and they enhance the overall narrative in a way that's as satisfying as a critical hit. It's like the film is saying, yes, we have dragons and magic, but we're also telling a compelling story here. Moreover, the film had awesome action scenes that'll make your heart race faster than a goblin on a sugar high. The battles were so epic, they had me feeling like I was in the middle of a dungeon, dodging fireballs and swinging my sword like a pro. It's like a paladin fighting off an army of orcs, but with more explosions and acrobatics. The choreography of the fight scenes was so slick, it had me wondering if the actors were secretly trained in martial arts. If you want a film with great fantasy elements that are as enchanting as a bard's song, then Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is the one for you. It's a classic fantasy story getting a modern update. The film is the perfect blend of action, comedy, adventure, and fantasy. Now, let's dive into the characters. The film has some seriously interesting and entertaining characters that will leave you spellbound. The acting is like a high-level enchantment. Every actor fits their role like a glove, and they bring their characters to life in a way that's as impressive as a sorcerer's fireball. The characters are as varied as a bag of holding, with their own unique personalities. Whether it's the stoic paladin or the mischievous bard, you'll find yourself invested in each character's story almost as much as you are in the overall plot. It's like a bunch of NPCs came to life and became the stars of their own epic adventure. The way that these characters interact with each other is as entertaining as it is endearing. You'll be laughing at their jokes and cheering on their victories, even as they face some seriously tough challenges. And speaking of challenges, these characters really go through the ringer. They face all kinds of obstacles, from deadly traps to ferocious monsters, and they come out the other side stronger and more heroic than ever. It's like witnessing a character arc unfold in real time, and it's as satisfying as a well-rolled natural 20. We all know that a good fantasy film needs some good effects, and Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves delivers. From the spells to the dragon battles, the special effects are top-notch. It's as if you're right there in the middle of the action. They used a combination of CGI and practical effects that were as seamless as a rogue's pickpocketing skills. The way they blended together was like a wizard casting a perfect spell. It just flowed effortlessly. The CGI was so good, you could swear you were seeing a dragon fly right off the screen. It's like the effects team cast a spell to make it all look real. But what really sets this film apart is how it uses the effects to enhance the story. It's not just eye candy, it's an integral part of the narrative. Whether it's the magical spells or the epic battles, the effects add to the overall immersion and make you feel like you're right in the middle of the action. If you want a film with great effects that are as magical as a sorcerer's incantation, then Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is the one for you. A spin-off TV series is coming out soon, and I am more excited than a goblin with a stolen treasure. I can't wait to see what adventures the characters will go on in the TV series. Will they encounter a dragon dragon that's even bigger than the one in the film? Will they find a hidden treasure trove filled with magical artifacts? The possibilities are endless, and I am here for all of it. The film set the stage for an epic fantasy world, and the TV series promises to expand upon it. It's like the creators of the show are spellcasters who can bring the world of Dungeons and Dragons to life in the most exciting ways possible. In conclusion, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is a film that both newcomers and veterans of the source material will enjoy.
Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a future upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.